Hello, my dearest, it's me, Kisaki Jackie, and welcome to Stillwater. I believe it's like a novel, but it looked very interesting, so let's try it. This is a work of fiction. The resemblance to any real life people is purely coincidental. This game contains depictions of horror, mature themes, violence, and strong language. Viewer discretion is advised. I got you, my boy. I'm sorry, but I can't stay here anymore, Nina. I feel like I'm going crazy. Calm down. If we can just talk it out. So many strange things keep happening after another. Every day there is this damn dripping sound. I thought it was just something leaking at first, but I check it every faucet, every ceiling, every pipeline, and still I hear it everywhere, constantly echoing in my ears. Oh, but the water. I find random pools of water just appear out of nowhere, just like the dripping. But it's at night. It's at night when it comes. I don't know if it's my paranoia, but I swear I could hear footsteps walking along the hallways, walking on pools of water. They walk, and they walk. Upstairs, then downstairs. Upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs. And it goes on and on and on and on like that. But somehow, it does come to an end. And it ends all in front of your grandfather's room. I know that this is a lot, but you have to believe me. No matter how many times I clean, it just won't end. I can't stay here any longer. I'm sorry, Nina. It's okay. I understand. Thank you for taking care of my grandfather. Nina, please listen to me. I don't know what's happening around here, but... The woman on the phone cautiously looks around before speaking again in a hushed tone. Something terrible is lurking through this house. I don't know what it is, but please, as soon as you get back, take your grandfather and just leave this place. Oh yeah, I can see that. There's a shadow there. I can't just leave. That's my home. Please, Nina, this place, it's not safe. I don't know what you saw, but I can't just leave things like this. Oh, Nina, you're gonna regret. It's my home. It's my home. Look, dinner, 7 a.m.? Oh, diner is a diner. I get always confused with dinner and diner. Are they written the same way? I didn't notice. Amid a foggy morning, there sits a man by a corner of a boot. He drinks black coffee and, depending on his mood, occasionally orders a donut. I would love a donut right now. Oh, sorry, microphone, chill out. And today, it was just black coffee. I guess he's not in the mood for a donut. Hey, Hugo. I swear, I've never seen that amount of paperwork in my life. A freaking mountain worth of it. You're a valuable member of our team, Hugo. My foot! He's very nice by saying that. I'm starting to believe that I was bamboozled into joining their agency. Hugo Laurent, age 30, takes a good look at his cup of Joe and chugs it all in one sitting. Hugo, that's not how you enjoy coffee. But taking into consideration the place that you are probably tastes like mud, so I got you. He then continues to grumble to himself about last night's grueling work at the office. I really need to find a different job. Maybe. I don't know what you work with. You haven't told us. Or you have. Maybe you did. I don't know. He said that he was dirty and working in the office and there's something in my eye. As he contemplates his poor life choices, he looks out towards the early mist. There was something inherently terrifying about the fog to him. How it engulfs everything and nothing. Even if it disappears, it always leaves behind traces. Proof of it remaining. Even if a quaint... Now I know what quaint means, thanks to Alan Wake. Even if a quaint little town like this, I can't even run from my fate, I guess. What is your fate? Paperwork? Hugo finally stares at the compiled newspaper clippings he put together. Some of them from recent events, but mainly all were past headlines of missing person cases. Ah yes, he is a detective. No matter how many times I see this, it's still just as hard to look at. Fixating case after case, he can't help but remind himself that there is a reason for all of this. An all too personal reason. Seeing strange things come with a price. In the end, I'm the only one doing this to myself. Sounds rough! Mind if I join? Who's that? Who's that? Who said that? An annoyingly familiar voice interrupts his train of thought. He slowly looks up to see the one responsible, although reluctantly. Good morning, Hugo. Hugo scowls and turns away from him. He then gathers the files and shoves it back into the binder. God damn it, this person! Why do you dare to even talk to me? Meanwhile, the tall man takes this as an initiative and sits at the opposite end of the booth. He greets the waitress passing by and orders himself the hefty body breakfast is special, with an extra plate. As usual, the waitress is happy to oblige and goes back to the counter to relay on his order. Relay? Let's use both. Let's pretend that I know how English works. The man then looks back at Hugo. He sees the empty cup and now jumbled newspaper clippings, all the while Hugo is trying to ignore him. You really should eat something with that black coffee. Not ordering any donuts today? I mean, coffee by itself on your stomach is not very good. You are going to have heartburns and it's going to hurt. But drinking it with pure sugar donut? Said the person that just drank 2 cups of coffee with 3 blocks of sugar inside each one of them, which means I had 2 coffee with 6 sugar and it's not good. I am no one to say what to eat, am I? I'm fine, Noah. I'm just not in the mood, okay? Who's not in the mood for a donut? Not even a little? There is a momentary silence between them before Noah disturbs it once more. Well, too bad for you. I order a big breakfast for the 2 of us. 2? Ooh, nice. I want that. As if the world could grace Noah with an even more perfect punchline, the food arrives. Thank you, world. Thank you for being perfectly on time. Why the hell did you order for the 2 of us? Just eat what you want to eat. Don't worry about me. Wow, this looks so delicious, right, Hugo? Are you even listening to me? Do you think he is? He looks like those types of people in anime, for example. They are just gracefully beautiful. And he's going to annoy the shit out of the main character all the time. But everybody's gonna love him anyway. Like me. I already like him. Come on. We both know that if you don't eat now, who knows when you will. And I'm not about to let you faint again. So open wide. Is he a mommy? Noah de Leon, age 27, a natural-born charmer, is just as equally persuasive as he is threatening. Great. With a pensive look, Hugo finally gives in and eats the generous spoonful without further complaints. Looks tasty to me. It's good. Right! Good food will always help cheer up. Damn it, I got swept away again. Oh, by the way, the chief will be out for a business trip. She mentioned it will be for a couple of days. When did she tell you this? I didn't hear anything about it. Yesterday, I think. Yesterday? She told me to sort out the cabinets yesterday. She didn't mention anything about a business trip. Oh, god damn it, boss. Why? Just tell me what you're gonna do. I guess it was a pretty sudden one. Well, I mean, she did tell me to tell you. And lucky me, I know where you go every morning. He needs to change diner. Hugo, change diner. You know what? I'm not surprised anymore. What do you want to do? We technically have the day off. I'm gonna head back to the office. There's a couple of boxes I didn't get a chance to sort out. In that case, I'll come with you. Why? You could just rest for the day. Just leave me alone, Noah. Just go to your house and sleep. I don't know. Invite the waitress to go to your house with you. Just go play video games with her or something. And pass up this opportunity to get to know you better. Quit it. After their enlightening banter, the two of them finish their breakfast, pay for their meal, and head to Hugo's car. Why are they both in Hugo's car? As Noah opens the door to the passenger seat, he notices a bloodhound sleeping inside. Puppy! The big dog steers at the sound of the car opening and lazily stares at Noah. Ah! I'm sorry, big guy! And then closes the door while trying to make too much noise to disturb its occupant. Not to make. Oh, sorry. I thought that he was making it on purpose to disturb the dog. Colby. Oh, you pisito! Oh my god! I am a sucker for dogs. I love dogs so much. So much. There's a lady in the office where I work that sometimes she brings her dog in, and her dog is a mix of a beautiful puppy. He's like a mix of a husky with, I think, a Shiba Inu. I don't know. He was supposed to be small, but he's smaller than a husky but bigger than a Shiba. And she's just the cutest thing. If I could, I would literally roll on the ground with that dog. I freaking adore dogs. Too much. At the sound of his name, his heavy-lidded eyes slowly peek to see who calls for him. It is his one and only partner. He's human. As he finally realizing who he is, or where he is, the old bloodhound steers up from his sleep, pounces at Hugo, and proceeds to wag his tail uncontrollably. Cute! Good morning again, Colby! And a nice nap! Colby, 8 years old, Hugo's most faithful and loving partner in crime, has the biggest tendency to just sleep all over the place. Colby, love you, boy. You're the best boy. Noah, who is witnessing all of this from the back seat, chuckles to himself. He is amazed and slightly defeated at Hugo's sudden surge of energy. Tell me who, when they see their dog bouncing around in happiness for you, would not immediately have that face, like Hugo face, right now. Just like, puppy! It doesn't matter how many times I try, when it comes to boosting up his mood, no one can beat Colby. You lost, Noah, I'm sorry. Agency, 7:50 a.m. The three headed back to the office, the space just the same as Hugo left it. A decent, organized mess. To his credit, for the amount of boxes he painstakingly went through, he believes he did a fair job. Albeit it could have been better. Judging by those computers and the fact that he's still working with paper, I will assume that this happens in the past. I don't know how much in the past, but in the past. Oh, you really outdid yourself, Hugo. Your looks less crowded. Ah, shut it, will you? I said I was gonna get to it. Yeah, thanks, boy. I don't think the dog can help. Before Hugo could continue to give deserved head pats, he noticed someone. A woman stands timidly, peering outside from the storefront. The woman appears a bit frantic. Disheveled and wearing ill-fitted clothes, she appears to be distressed about something. When she finally makes eye contact with Hugo, she immediately rushes in. I'm sorry. I know that the closed sign is up. I saw you come in and I... Are you alright, miss? I need your help. My grandfather, he... I think that's Nina. Before she can continue, Noah swiftly intervenes. It's okay. We'll hear what you have to say. So please, why don't you take a seat? Noah gestures to one of the empty chairs. The poor woman hesitates for a moment before heavily sighing in relief. She then walks towards the corner of the room and sits on the sofa. Are you gonna make coffee for her? Can you start off by telling us your name? I'm sorry for earlier. My name is Nina Mortimer. I need help watching over my grandfather tonight. Watching over your grandfather? Yes. I'm sorry, Miss Mortimer, but I don't quite understand. Is he in danger? Maybe. I mean, based on the caretaker, probably. I'm afraid he is. Miss Mortimer, if that is the case, wouldn't contacting the police be better? No! I've tried requesting their help, but they all gave me the same answer. There is nothing they can do about it. If only I knew who Louis was. Louis? Nina fidgets at the name. She looks at the side before reaching out from her bag for an antique letter. My grandfather, he received a cryptic message the other day. He didn't come with an address or the name of the sender. However, the only thing I did pick up was their name. As she hands over the letter, Hugo notices her hand slightly shaking. Whatever lies in this note must have shaken her this badly. What is it? Is he gonna tell, like, I'm gonna kill your grandpa tonight? There's no game, though. There's just story so far. Delicately, Hugo removes the content of the envelope and unfolds it. At first glance, it seems like any normal written message. A person named Louis asking the other, Henry, to come meet him by the lake at midnight, needing to share something important with him. However, what's eerily striking about this letter is not the message itself. Rather, at the bottom of the page, a sentence far more disturbing is written. I am coming for you, Henry. Were there any other letters like this? Yes, a few of them. I thought it was a sick joke at first, but this one was different. Up until now, I've never heard of anyone by that name. Not relative, family friend. But they clearly know who my grandfather is. If I don't do something about this, I'll lose him too. Just by uttering the words alone, Nina breaks down. Hiding away her tear-streaked face, she begins to quietly sob to herself. As an act of comfort, Colby sits close to Nina, while Noah fetches tissues for her. Hugo, on the other hand, is puzzled. This is very well could have been a prank, but she seems certain. Certain that whoever or whatever this Louis person is, they're coming. They're coming, but why now? Why are they coming now? Do you want more tissues? I'll do it. I'll take your case. For a moment, silence fills the room. Only stares are directed at Hugo, until Nina finally stands up and walks towards him. You take it? Hugo simply nods. Thank you. Thank you. You don't know how much this means to me. We're glad to help, Miss... Nina. Nina is fine. Well, Nina, we'll do our best. Nina slightly smiles at Hugo before reaching into her bag once more and taking out a note. This is my address. I'll be sure to greet you Once... I'll be sure to greet you once when you get there, Detective. Is that correct sentencing? I don't know. She politely bows once more before heading to her car and drives back home. Once out of sight, Hugo turns to look at his cluttered desk. Still messy, but presentable. I guess I'll have to sort this out later again. Guess we going to that place. From the ongoing downpour to the quiet hums of the car, they sit in silence. Ah, so Noah's coming as well. Still miles off from their destination, Hugo constantly checks the rear view mirror. Noah, who usually chats his ears off by now, sits completely still. He looks out the passing streetlights, reserved and distant. That's new. Noah, you alright? Hey, you're a lot quieter than usual. What's wrong? This is a surprise. Have you been looking at me, Hugo? No, you idiot. You usually just talk a lot, that's all. So, do you miss me talking a lot? Don't sweet up the conversation to other places, Noah. That's not the point. Just say it. I didn't want to offend Nina earlier, so I kept quiet until she finished. But it's her last name that caught me off guard. Oh, you should have said that to Hugo beforehand, shouldn't you? Have you heard about the Mortimers? They're a pretty distinguished family. Well, they used to be. What do you mean? They've been struck with so many tragedies that over time people began to believe they were cursed or something. Ooh, a curse, you say? Every other year, I would see a headline on the local news about one of the family members' deaths. And you know what's strange? All of them have been labeled as accidents. No foul play, no nothing. Just another unfortunate event for the family. Maybe I understand why she wouldn't go to the police. She probably thought they perceive her as paranoid or hysterical. Or worse, crazy. Or guilty. I can imagine all of this for Nina. And most of all, who knows what we'll find there. Is that why you decided to come with me? Well, partially. I'm more worried about you, though. Me? Noah, please. You don't have to worry about me. You just have to hug me when the time comes. Maybe. Think of it this way. I'm the appointed driver. When you decided to do some pretty reckless shit, I'll be there to drive you to the local hospital. Ugh. Besides, 2 are better than 1. Exactly. I was fine with Kobe coming with me. Well, have you heard that 3 is better than 2? Ugh. Mortimer State, 6 p.m. Nice house. Passing through countless dirt roads and steep cliffs, the estate reveals itself beyond the evergreen. Nestled and tucked away from prying eyes, it stands tall, looming from a distance. Hugo and Noah could only gaze at the sheer scale of the manor as they parked adjacent to Nina's car, like side by side. Wow, and to think she came all this way just to request us? It took us more than a couple of hours to get here. That's odd. Maybe she really didn't have a choice. What do you mean? Come on, she's waiting for us. Immediately after exiting the driver's seat, a sudden sharp pain weighs heavy on Hugo's chest. Grasping tight into his coat, he begins to gasp for air. His gaze hazes as he leans close to the car. Like a fish drawn out from the sea, he desperately heaves. But this ache he harbors pales in comparison to a pain far more excruciating. Is it the house? No, something far more sinister. He feels it. Someone is watching him. A piercing gaze fixed on him, like leering at a bug and waiting to strike. I'll never forgive you. What the hell? Damn it already! I need to hurry or else... Hurry? Hey, are you alright? Noah calls out to him, snapping him out of his fixated trance. Colby nudges his head against Hugo, whinnying with concern over his partner's well-being. Did you hear that just now? Hear what? That voice! It was so close to my ear. Is everything alright? Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me. I'm just a bit winded from the trip, that's all. I'll be happy to make you coffee at the very least, if it's no trouble. He said, if it's no trouble. No, not at all. It's the least I can do. Once again, this subtle uneasiness from Nina surfaces. But before Hugo could get a chance to look further into it, she walked off towards the front porch without saying another word. Are you sure you're alright? You sounded like you were choking earlier. I said I'm fine. Besides, we're here already. We can't back down now. I mean, you can. Just go back into the car and drive yourself off. Listen to me. I think we should... Noah abruptly cuts his lecture short as he notices Nina stopping by by the front door. She stands there silently as if contemplating something. I know this may sound rude, but I didn't get a chance to know your names. Well, you were pretty out of it when you walked in. I'm really sorry about that. No worries. This is Detective Hugo Laurent. His assistant, Kobe. And I'm his second assistant, Noah de Leon. It seems so surreal. Just like a cartoon. It does, right? Are we the Scooby-Doo troupe? Nina meekly smiles before turning away from them. I haven't been quite honest with you, Detective Laurent. Yeah, I thought so. Just like before, as if carefully choosing her next words, she decides that in this situation, words are not enough. You see for yourselves what I mean. And with that, Nina enters the house, leaving the three to follow behind. Hugo is about to enter through the foyer when he feels a tug on his arm. Don't forget what I told you. If something happens, let me know right away. You'll be the first to know. Yeah, I mean, who else is gonna tell? The dog? And with that, Noah releases his grip on Hugo. They proceed to head in, not knowing what awaits them beyond the door. Oh, there's the grandpa. He looks a little bit too young to be a grandpa. Greeted with a brightly lit hallway, Hugo noticed that the interior is just as grand. Adorned with floral accents, and antique paintings, it exudes an elegant charm found only in a resplendent house such as this. However, Hugo notices something even more distinct than the splendor. This house is much more terrifying inside and out. Please come this way. Bracing themselves, they enter the dim-lit drawing room. At first glance, Hugo could not discern the silhouette situated at the far corner. However, on closer inspection, he now understands the reason for all of Nina's unsettling vagueness. Grandfather, we have guests. Oh, grandfather? Sitting on the armchair is a young man. He is dressed in a white-collared down-dress shirt, tucked in with black slacks and black penny loafers. Isn't he a little bit too young to be a granddad, like I mentioned before? Staring only at the window, the young man sits there dazed with little acknowledgement of the people around him. Still, motionless, like a doll. Grandpa, these are the people I spoke of. This is Detective Laurent and his two assistants, Kobe and Noah. They're going to help us. Even after introducing them to the head of the Mortimer estate, Hugo and Noah could not help but feel unnerved. Who wouldn't? Is this guy a vampire or something? The man before them is supposed to be frail and older than any of them. And yet, here he remains, forever unchanging, forever young. Forever... No, they've come a long way, so I'll be making some coffee. Would you also like some, Grandpa? Haven't been eating at all, drinking coffee, juice, anything. He doesn't look like he's doing much. The young man still does not reply back, never glancing at Nina or anyone else in the room, only fixed on the rain. I'll be sure to make a cup for you too. She then timidly gestures to Hugo and Noah back to the foyer. Bearing more questions, the two follow Nina outside. But before they leave the drawing room, Hugo takes one last look at the young man. There is an all too familiar air about Henry Mortimer. His eyes, they're similar to his own. Whatever he must be longing for, Hugo knows will not end well. What is he longing for? Nina, that man. Yes, he's my grandfather, the one I asked you all to watch over. I know this is hard to believe, but... Nina draws something out of from her pocket. It's an antique picture of a young man with slicked back hair, wearing a luxurious suit. He appears to be poised and refined, a complete contrast to the current Henry Mortimer. This isn't much to go by, but I swear he is the same person. Then why does he look so young? What is he using? I want it. Or maybe not, because whatever it is also making him just stare at nothingness. It happens a few nights ago. I was on my way to get a cup of tea when I heard a loud thud coming from my grandfather's room. I was worried that something fell over, so I went to go check. When I opened the door, I found him collapsed on the ground. I rushed to help him, but when I did, he looked so different. So many things were rushing to my head, and yet it felt so familiar to me. He wore the same clothes that my grandpa wore that night. And his face, I recognized his face. He just looked younger. That was also the same night I found that letter. It was next to him, already opened. I'm sorry again for all of this. No matter who I went to, they either said something was wrong with me or my family. With everything going on, maybe they're right. The pools of water, the dripping sounds, the letter, and now this. Maybe my family is really cursed. They're not. Curses aren't real. Detective? Have you seen something, Hugo? Have you experienced something? I think we easily get too involved in believing that sort of thing exists. In reality, the ones who fixate on it feeds off of it. Rumors, doubts, lies, all of those things are what they want to become real. Deep-rooted emotions like that can't possibly be healed or fixed right away. Like a curse, those emotions drag other people down with them. Oh. Personally, I think you were caught up in all of this. But I assure you we'll see this through. For you and your grandfather. Thank you. Good. Now, our first priority is to find out more about Louis. Nina, the letter you showed us back at the agency. Do you have it with you? Yes, it's here. Do you mind if I borrow it for a bit? I'll be sure to give it back. Of course. I'll check upstairs. Noah, you and Kobe check the ground floor. Is he Fred? And then this is just like Shaggy and Scooby? Got it. Before they leave to their own investigations, Hugo grabs and holds of Noah's shoulder. He leans close enough for Nina to not hear. Keep a close eye on Mrs. Mortimer and Nina. Especially Nina. Okay. I'm counting on you. You too, boy! Ah! And with that, Hugo heads upstairs, starting his investigation. 11:30 p.m. Oh, I thought that was going to start a point and click kind of thing, but apparently not. After searching vigorously through each of the rooms, he knew his findings would eventually lead him here. This is it. Hugo walks towards the nearest lampshade and opens it. Dimly illuminating, he sees the extent of how lavish this part of the house is. From customized drapes to the vintage furniture, everything here exudes the extravagance. But much like the interior Hugo has seen so far, he finds this one in particular reeks of it. Plastered from wall to wall, a sense of gloom lingers. It's as if the room itself is moldering despite its preserved nature. I need to hurry. I don't want to stay here for too long. Up, up, up. Why is the menu coming? Oh, I can save. Oh, I did not know I could save. All right. Well then. I also don't know how long this game is. Well, it's not really a game. It is a visual novel. And there's 7,000 words. I don't know what that means. And 2 endings. But I don't know how we're going to reach different endings if basically I'm not playing. But let's continue. He searches and searches, still with no sign of anything. Not one thing pertaining to Lewis. Damn it! Nothing! It's as if it cleared out everything, just blank everywhere. No, it has to be here. I'm just missing something. He ponders again before remembering the letter. This is the only proof Lewis exists so far. I'll try to read it again. Maybe I overlooked it. As he takes the letter out from the envelope, he notices a change within. Bearing no foreboding threat at the bottom of the page, it looks just like a regular letter. What the... If you can't come, then I understand. It's pretty dearly, after all. Dreary. But if I can ask one last favor of you, could you keep my locket? I know this is selfish of me, but I'd like for you to have it. I'll be happy knowing it's with you. Thank you for everything, Harry. Forever yours, Lewis. This is the same Lewis? I thought it was the cause of all of this. I don't understand. Without warning, the sound of a click can be heard across the bedroom, as if something unlocked itself. Hugo turns around and sees at the foot of the bed a chest. Unlike the other furniture, its dark and rustic features have not been maintained well, left to rot on its own. Preparing himself, he opens the chest. Inside, scrambled together are bunches of notebooks and small trinkets. Hugo continues to rummage through when he stumbles across an old newspaper article. Young man found dead by the lake. Is that Lewis? An unidentified young man was found in the morning of 3 days prior to his death, according to police. Ruled out as a suicide, police have claimed that the troubled youth drowned himself. This certainly is a tragic loss, as unfortunate event indeed. No claim of his body has been made yet. Lewis. By the corner of Hugo's eyes, he spots a bright glint buried beneath the clutter. He reaches for it. A locket of brilliant gold shines unblemished, retaining a timeless luster. Inside it safeguards a picture of a young man with glasses, smiling brightly. This must be the locket that he was talking about. It's so pretty. I'm surprised it still shines like this. And this picture. Did he put this here? No, it might have been Harry. But why? Why would it store it away like this? What should I do? Ah! I have closes. Let me save. I'll save here. I think this is what is going to take me to different endings. I'll take it. I should probably hold on to this for now. Hugo is about to put everything back into the chest when he feels a wet and cold sensation crawling up his leg. What? Water? A pool of water relentlessly spreads across the floor, already seeping into the chest. Damn it, no! Suddenly, the light shuts off. A scream is heard, followed by a myriad of shouts. Hugo is about to call out to Noah, but stops at the sight of pale feet before him. Looming over him stands a tall and ominous figure. His face is shrouded in complete darkness, devoid of any human motion. Oh, there's the feet! It appears as a young man, but Hugo knows that it's far from it. No, this very thing is trying to imitate a human form. Trying to be human. Hugo could only stare back. Paralyzed with fear, he is forced to watch the horror as it slowly creeps towards him. It's just like before. The sensation of someone staring at him from within. But this time, it's drawing nearer, itching ever so closely. The words to call out to Kobe or Noah fail to reach out. Lodged in his throat, he struggles in pain. With his breathing shallow, he tries to force his body to move. And then it stops. Looking down at Hugo, filled with nothing but malice and contempt, it speaks. I don't know what to not get. All of a sudden, the door to the bathroom slams shut and the entity disappears. The tension from his body finally releases its agonizing grip and he grasps desperately for air. His vision blurred and breathing jagged, he staggered towards the door. He yanks at the handle several times, but it's tightly jammed. Fuck! Noah! Kobe! To his dismay, he's the only greeted with silence at the other end of the door. Damn it! From a distance, he faintly hears the sound of Kobe relentlessly barking as he gets further away from the house. Oh, that's not good then. Hugo rushes towards the window. He tries to pry it open, but just like the door, a heavy force prevents him from doing so. Fuck this! Frantically looking around the room, he spots a nearby chair. Without a moment sooner, Hugo grabs the chair and starts to strike the window. Bit by bit, the window cracks, get larger with each blow, splitting off smaller pieces. What the hell is this thing made out of? Glass, I hope? Still trying to catch his breath, he musters all the strength he has left for a final blow. Damn you, just break already! Clearing out the remaining glass shards, Hugo peers his head out to see any railing he can grab hold of. However, he discovers instead that the wall adjacent is covered in ivy. Despite how heavy the rain has drastically become, he reaches out for it, grabbing a handful of the vines. Carefully, he climbs out of the window, gripping tightly and making sure he doesn't lose his footing. Yet to his luck, the patch of vines he clutches starts to tear away from the wall. Out of desperation, he struggles to find his grip on another, but fails when his hand slips out of reach. Shit! Clamoring wildly as he loses grip on the ivy, he crashes lands down onto a thicket of bushes. So he's fine. At least he didn't break anything, I hope. Air forced out of him, he heaves uncontrollably, trying to even out his breathing. But even that is laborious. An immense pain spreads across not only his back, but his entire body. God, I'm getting too old for this. How old are you again? 30? You're young. Although his body screams out in pain, he forces himself up. There's still time. I can do this. I have to do this. With staggering feet and haggard breathing, he makes his way to the place where it all started. The lake? To the lake where this tragedy starts and ends. Right. I mean, yeah, that was where the other boy, Louis, finally entered through the park. Hugh calls out to Kobe and Noah. Kobe! Noah! Where are you? Hopefully they're fine, but he hears faintly the sound of barking and echoes of people yelling in the distance. He rushes towards the echoes, guiding him through the downpour. With his heart racing and blood rushing to his head, he finds his way to the lake. I hope Noah is not dead in the lake. I will be sad about it. Drawing closer, he sees Nina giving chase to her grandfather. Unfortunately, she doesn't get too far as Noah stops her. Good. Grandpa, stop! Grandpa! Let me go! My grandpa is... I can't scream too loud, I'm sorry. Nina, please, it's dangerous. You get hurt too. I don't care. I don't want to lose anyone anymore. It's at that instant Hugo trudges against the water, pursuing Nina's steed. Or steed, I don't know. Hugo? No, don't! Please falls deaf to his ears. Not even the whines and worries cries of his partner could make him turn back. Determined, he trudges further in. Nearing the deep end, he sees Henry Mortimer gazing directly at the abyss. He looks even more frail and disheveled, as if all the life had been drained from him, surrendering it all to the lake. Before Henry could lean in, Hugo reaches out and tugs at his arm. Mr. Mortimer, listen to me! Nothing is waiting for you down there, so please come back to the shore with me. Motionless and unresponsive, he still stares deeply into the water. There are so many things we cannot afford to lose in our lives. And you're one of them. To Nina. You're all she has left. She needs you, Mr. Mortimer. Hugo felt it. A slight jolt from Henry's arm as he stiffers by the mention of Nina. He slowly turns to face Hugo. Nina. However, just as cruel and violent as the storm, Henry jerks back, wrenching his arm away from Hugo's hold on him. All of this is my fault. If only I got to Louis sooner, then none of this would have happened. Henry inches even closer to the edge. Did Louis die like a suicide, or was he killed? Louis, I'm sorry. I should have... Should have what? Gone in his stead? Gone with him? You know I wouldn't resolve anything. Not for you or Louis. I read what he wrote to you those years ago. He understood if you didn't want to come see him. But the thing is, Mr. Mortimer, Louis never thought of anything less of you. The locket is proof of that. Louis' locket? Yes, it's the symbol of his love for you. That's why you don't have to shoulder all of that pain by yourself anymore. We can talk about it. About you and Louis. All of it together. But how about the youngin getting younger and what is happening? Hugo extends not only his hand to him, but a promise. A promise that Henry had yearned for so long. A way to forgive himself. He hesitates at first. What fool believes in a deserved forgiveness? Such a thing doesn't exist. And yet, despite everything, Hugo still reaches out to him. To a stranger. Maybe he can be forgiven. Just as he was about to reach out for Hugo, a hand slithered around Henry instead. Its arms unnaturally contort around him, while its head perches on his shoulder. Oh my god, what is that? What creature of the lake is this? This thing, this Lois is no longer pretending to be human. With piercing cold green eyes, it glares directly at Hugo, mocking him, cursing him, wishing nothing but despair. We can be saved? We can be forgiven? For what? There is only one true way out of this. I'll share with you the most happiest of the endings, I guess. Before Hugo could reach out for Henry's hand, he disappears into the water. Mr. Mortimer! Without hearing the anguished cries of this desperate pleas, Hugo dives after him into the abyss. Oh, Hugo, why? For a stranger? Just like that? Plunging into icy waters, Hugo feels shock running rampant throughout his body, like spikes continuously piercing from his legs to the tips of his fingers. Firstly, unwilling, his chest tightens and his heart races as he begins to kick his legs, hoping whichever way he goes, he'll find his way to Henry. Swimming deeper and deeper in, he sees faintly a figure slowly descending into the darkness. As he finally gets closer to Henry, long snakes-like arms stretch across the void and grabs Hugo's neck, violently squeezing out all the air out of him. He tries desperately to wrench his hands away, but with each struggle, Hugo's movements begin to wind heavier and heavier. Wait. Louis. Where are you, Louis? It's looking for Louis? Digging deep into his coat pocket, he grabs tightly in his hands the locket that Henry kept and had long forgotten. Hell yeah, the locket is gonna save our lives! Holding it out as it shines ever so brightly in the dark. Ah, there you are. He releases its grip on Hugo and instead reaches out for the locket. Taking this as a chance, he drops the chain and kicks with all of his might to grab Henry's arm. With his heart burning and his body screaming, he swims desperately to the surface. Almost there! I just have to... As the lights from the surface begin to blur, Hugo makes one last attempt to reach for it. With his limbs worn out and his energy spent, this is all he can do. Yeah, but Noah is there! Noah will save him, right? Before he loses his consciousness, he notices a figure swimming towards them, getting closer and closer. And then everything fades to black. Well, yeah, Noah probably jumped in to save them. Or at least he jumped in to save Hugo. Drifting along with what feels like an endless sea, Hugo curses through waves after wave. Not knowing where he's going or caring for that matter. All he knows is that he's very, very tired. How long has it been since he had a good night's rest? It's been too long. Maybe I should take that rest now. I like that so much. I agree that you deserve it, but not here. I'm sorry for startling you. I just wanted to see you before I go. Louis? You've done so much for me and Harry. Thank you. No worries. Why is it dark? I have light. Stop being dark. From his far-off distance, a voice cries out to him, beckoning for him to come back. Well, I guess this is it. Take care, Hugo. With his eyes closed and his senses still returning, he feels the constant tugs and licks of a certain bloodhound. How do you know exactly he's a bloodhound? Whinnying as he tries to wake up his partner. Hugo! He also hears another familiar voice, too annoyingly close for comfort. Eyes shot right open, he jerks up. Confused, Hugo looks around before he coughs up the remaining water in his lungs. Are you alright? Noah starts to pat his back while Kobe continues to whine over Hugo. What happened? Where's Mr. Mortimer? He's safe. So is Nina. They're both okay. The police and the ambulance should be arriving soon. Thank goodness. Isn't there more you have to say to me? Instead of thank goodness? I swear you don't listen to a damn word I say. I'm sorry, Noah. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry, Noah. Exhausted, he lets out a sigh. He then continues to pat Hugo's back aggressively when someone approaches them. Detective Laurent? Oh, Nina. There's someone I want you to meet. Oh, now he looks more like a grandfather. Behind her stands an elderly man. Frail in stature, he timidly looks to the side, pensively as he ponders to himself. Although his youth has long faded, his eyes are what catches Hugo's attention. They're no longer piercing and vicious green. Only eyes, just like Nina. Hello, Mr. Mortimer. Detective? I never got the chance to say goodbye to him. I always thought about it every day. What if Lois lived on this world? What if he stayed a little longer with me? It's because of that constant mindset I dragged everyone down. So that's what made the curse. Well, curse. It's like Hugo said. And I kept hurting not only me, but Nina especially. I was the one who kept hurting her. The one to blame for all of this. But you, someone that I've never met, still went out of your way to save me. Not knowing my burdens or my faults. Thank you. Hugo reaches out to Henry and smiles brightly at him. It's my pleasure, sir. But before he lets go, Henry tugs at Hugo's hands one last time. I hope that someday you too will overcome it. What happened to you, Hugo? The next day. Well, good morning, Hugo. You're bright and early. Morning. With much favor and haste, Hugo resumes writing on his notepad. Although by closer inspection, he looks like he's going to combust any minute. Hugo, take a break, have a coffee, go out with Noah, just accept your feelings. At this point, we all know. Are you writing up the report? Without looking up, Hugo responds back. Yeah, for the most part. You still need to write yours too. I will. But since I haven't had breakfast yet, and I don't like eating by myself... Oh, he got breakfast. Let me guess. 2 is better than 1. Bingo. Wow, Hugo. You're really catching on. I'm so proud of you. Oh, shut it, will you? I swear, if only I hadn't fallen off the goddamn window, maybe my report would have been shorter. Before Noah could begin to cut the bacon, he pauses at the mention of Hugo's report. Oh yeah, by the way, mind telling me what happened to the Mortimer's window? Monsters. I broke it. Well, that's obvious to me. What I don't understand is, why is it broken? Do you know how much it costs to repair a window like that? I know. It was really dumb of me. I'm sorry. Besides, I told Mr. Mortimer about it before we left. Honestly, I was expecting an earful from him. And also the bill. And... surprisingly enough, he said it was okay. So what? You just call it a day after all that? Thank you so much, Mr. Mortimer. You broke it. You pay for it. Would you chill? I mean, he just saved a guy's life. Come on. Of course I'll pay for it. But each time I kept insisting, he just shrugged it off. Said that we already went through a lot for them. So this was nothing in comparison. Ugh. You know what? He's right. After all that we went through, I deserve at least a nap. Hugo puts down his pen and proceeds to head for the couch. Kobe follows after him. Oh yeah. Wait, what about breakfast? I'll eat it later. It's nap time now. Heavily sighing, Noah sets aside the food on his desk and joins the other two at the couch. Do they all fit on the couch? Oh, not in a certain way. I'm getting old. I mean, you are old. Shut it. Kobe whines, asking for head scratches. Sorry, boy. Silently, Hugo scratched the back of Kobe's ears as he leans closer to Noah. You know, I'm glad that you came along yesterday. Yeah, he would have died. Oh, what's this? Are you getting clummy with me now? Call it clummy, chummy. Call it chummy or whatever, but I really mean it. If you hadn't saved us back there. Look, I told you before. I'll be there whenever you get yourself into reckless shit. Besides, didn't you say this was nap time? Get some rest. You deserve it. You too. Aww. A calming silence fills the room as the three fell deeper into sleep. No big parties or celebrations. Just each other's comfort in sharing this small but rewarding night's rest. Good end! A night's rest. Oh, that was so nice! That was so nice that I really don't want to go to the bad end because I feel like they're going to die. I don't want to do the bad end. I don't want to know. I don't want to know how they die. I don't want to know how Hugo dies and how Noah is gonna get sad about it and how they're going to just keep on the curse because probably the same thing. I don't want to know. I want to know what break room is. What? Oh, it's music. Okay, and the credits? Please, the credits. Henry, original idea and writer. Ota, UI designer. Sasa, color design. Z04, programmer. Music, presence of music and mix gallery. Very, very nice. Oh, I loved it. I really liked it. I usually don't play or read visual novels because it's like that. It's just like it's a reading process. You just sit down, you read. Maybe you have a choice here and there, but it's just reading. But it was, I'm sorry, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. It's maybe too fast for the conclusions that you get to the end. I feel like a lot of development was way too fast. So you start with a good pace, but after you find Nina and you go to the house, then the pace gets way too fast. So like you lose a lot on exactly what is happening, or exactly why he became younger, what is the monster, or how did the whole thing started. So I feel like until you got to the house, good pace, but after the house, too fast pace. I don't know if it had, like, it was made for a jam, so I don't know if for the jam you have a limitation of words or you have a limitation on time, and that's why you had to finish it faster. But I don't know, maybe you could have shortened the story and then released a bigger one later, or maybe you can still use these characters and do more after that. Because it has a lot of potential. I really, really liked it. Stillwater. No, not doing the bad ending. Don't want to see them die. But this visual novel is free. So if you want to check it out, please do. I'm going to leave the link of it in the description below. It was fantastic. So if you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more. I'm going to play tons of other games besides this one. And as usual, hope you all have a happy ever after. And I'll see you on the next day. Bye bye.